Hello, good morning. We're meeting for another vlog, and today's vlog was very much heavy on art and me testing some color pencils. There's gonna be a book cover reveal. Yes, my book is done, so we're gonna have a book cover reveal. Yay! And I am gonna do some more sketching because let me just show you. Oh, I got the new character design quarterly, and I decided to take them all out for referencing. So this is what we're gonna be doing. I did some drawing, not really planned. I'm gonna put a footage for you from these color pencils that are Erogita and Tombow company. And I'm having pale tone, vivid tone, and deep tone. So we all from the first volume, and basically I did show this on the video, but they are so beautifully arranged. 10 in each tone, but there are grooves to insert them. So I really like them, and generally the colors were pretty.
You can see me just making a color palette of all of them, just for reference. But we did had a wonderful color guide in it, and I think the color guide was fairly accurate as well. But you always want to see how we feel on the paper, really. So yeah, the vivid colors. Yeah, this box is technically the most vivid ones, really. So all the main colors really that you have is probably going to be from here, but the complementary ones actually were really needed. So I think for my drawing, I used most of boxes, really, all of the boxes, maybe not all of the colors. There are some beautiful colors in the pale tone as well, especially the blues like a sky blues and so on. And the deeps are mostly the brown ones. I'm actually very interested. If you draw, what sort of colors you have most of left after you gone with your pencils? For me, it's often like the purple I noticed and the browns. After color testing, I was drawing this drawing that I basically done. So I'm gonna be coloring that in pencils. I want to explain it. I actually was remembering this old drawings that I've done of this girl, Space Witch. I named her Lani. The pictures are only done for Instagram. I don't know, it's been over a year ago, maybe last summer. So she has this little alien creature with her. And then the next thought was what I'm drawing is really, I have a book about the different moons, let's say. The fantasy book, I don't really like how it turned out, but one of the moons was specifically the market. And I was really trying to draw a market. You have no idea. This was not even the first image of a market I tried to draw. I was rather happy with this one. So basically, I had to look up references. And for this one, I found references of, I believe, Marrakesh Spice Market. And then it just clicked for me. I thought Spice Market and Space Market. It sounded wonderful for some reason. And another thing, I recently was reminded of rebus. And not everyone knows what rebus is for some reason. So it's a puzzle in pictures. And I'm well, it should be really more used even in fiction, I think. So I specifically put a bone marrow, half of a bone marrow and half of a kettle, just to say that it should be market. It makes no sense, I know, for most of the people, but it would be half of each word. Sadly, if you got what I'm saying, well, just leave me a message in the comment because it's something that my brain makes. Anyway, so I really love that idea, and I'm like, oh, it's a puzzle. It's a picture with a puzzle. Anyway, so I colored with pencils most of the detailing, and then I painted over it. And I really didn't realize, I try to usually paint and then do textures with pencils, but I actually realized it's not a bad way, because if you do very loose paint over, you can still see the texture through. And I kind of like it, even if it might hide the original color in it, but actually I really liked it. I did leave some of the colors untouched, like for example the spices. So some of these layers were sort of uncolored, and I think I'm gonna do more of paintings like that or pictures like that. I definitely would like to make this Lani glitch, the space witch, into more like a series of drawings, but it's just for my own fun. I don't want to make it a commitment. I also tried to make some goods in the background, but the detailing is so small, and it's always the compromise. If it's better to draw something very zoomed in, or like out from a distance, you can't really get the same effects, I guess. Yeah, in this particular case, it's really hard to see her alien support animal. She's holding him. It's like looks like a black doggy, really, in a sense. She's holding him, but you can barely see any detail, and like even probably can't really make it out of it. Same with some of these baskets that I tried to show. Like one of them was like with a twining sort of tentacles in it. The other ones with gem-looking goods, and like some of the vegetables with like little faces and whatnot, little veggies. But like you can't really tell these because they are so tiny that I can't really detail it in a good way. When I added ink, and I wanted to do this overlaid drawing or painting over it to make a little bit more like space, I guess. So lots of different colors. I don't know why I went for like this yellow orange colors. I think like purplish would be have been much nicer somehow. But there are two white spaces inside the drawing as well, which I wanted to show some sort of shine through of that similar space. So it could be either like entry or a little window in it. Yep. So here we are. And I also realized, and I had to add it later, that there is not really a good show of the broom and like where it ends. So I had to add that later, that detail. But I think I was rather happy in overall how it turned out. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already have seen it, because then I published with little corrections. I published it on Instagram. Yeah, and it's been like long time since I did put something on Instagram, or since I felt more happy with the progress of our drawing. So I think this was quite a happy time for me. It's actually same last time I draw Lani. Last time I draw a space, which was actually the time when I was also quite burnt out with my art. And I just needed something for fun. And I made it as like a comic strip with little humor, strange humor. Like this time I made a strange puzzle. Last time I made a strange humor things in it. So it's something that, helps me in that way, I guess. It's really just for me. While the layers were drying, I was actually doing another drawing on the side on the page where I was testing colors, and then I combined them in a single image. And also you can see me like putting detailing either with some markers or a pencil. It's like really mixed media in that way. But I still think there's a lot of areas where you can see the pencil shine through, especially where, where I didn't need to cover as bigger amounts of surface, I guess. And I thought that was really lovely. And I did like the pencils. They're actually quite nice and bright colors. And the picture itself turned really bright. This is the finished result, and I ended up doing another much simpler drawing in the sort of winter planet.
Right, the next thing that I want to tell you is my book is done, the final fixes and everything, and it's literally left, the publishing part really left. In either way, the cover reveal, I can finally reveal it, and it's done by wonderful Izzy Evans, and I absolutely love the art. If not the story, the art is what would really sell this book, I would say. It's absolutely cute and Ghibli-esque, that's what I was going for. But you always can test it out and see what you think. But this is the cover. Finally, the last part is that I have so many. I haven't counted them, but I have so many, but definitely not all, because there's like 28, I think. 28 is the one that arrived now. So there is, 28 journals. And I only started ordering them, I can tell you, roughly about 20, really, at about 19. So here we are, and this is something very wonderful. I really enjoyed them. But I realize again that I don't do enough referencing to it. I just read it and put it away. And my entire vlog series is about referencing the books I actually have, spending time with them, trying to like copy images, learn something from it. So this journal is wonderful. That first pages, on even the cover pages, are some sort of lesson. So the 28 one, the one that I just received, was specifically on drawing fur. I don't necessarily love all the artists. They all have very similar processing together, but I think what we're gonna do is go through the old numbers and see what I can draw from it to create one of the characters. I am basically a bit stuck with making certain characters of my story. Sometimes they just come naturally, sometimes I need to leave it away. But what I'm thinking of doing today is just drawing random inspiration, even if it's a little bit of copying art or adding these details, let's say fur, right? And trying to bring out the character. So now I'm really stuck with a couple of characters for my new story. It took me a while to get a lot of these characters. Actually, even the main characters took me a while. I had to I go through processes, and now I think I'm quite agreeing with the characters I have. So really now I'm just thinking, so the two main characters I already have, maybe a third one of the bigger characters. It's a mansion story that I'm working on. So in the mansion, so I want to do more like ghostly, witchy characters, but also the villain, which is always a difficulty. Even in the book that is coming out was such a difficulty to imagine how he actually looks like. And yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. Just really spend time, go through things like flipping, flopping, and finding something I like, either copying it or trying to add into detailing somewhere. Trying to really embrace these journals. I mixed and matched them, so I wouldn't start with the latest one because I just read it, and honestly I would like to remind myself some other ones. But yeah, so I want you to be with me while I'm drawing and hopefully have a little maybe chat and whatnot. Oh, I love this guy already. There is like a possessed, oh god, this is gonna not turn right. The possessed type of guy, love it. And I think the villain should be like beardy or overgrown as well. So that's a nice one. Oh gosh, so many things in here. And at the end there's also like in every journal there's a gallery that doesn't have a text, and just a showcase of artists. But most of these are like, these are wonderful. I'm definitely gonna study them again for like human shapes or whatnot. But today we don't even have to be human. So here we are. I realized that a lot of times I used to do vlogs and art and whatever, thinking that whatever I'm doing at the moment, like whatever I'm doing is gonna be like leading to the finished art. I learned now that it's much actually better to just do little tiny details that you might not even know that's gonna be in the final art, and then actually being able to add them if they turn out well, and sort of construct that artwork out of these multiple attempts. It's actually like even more rewarding. I know a lot of times we live in the society where it's like reward, you know, is a primary goal in a lot of times, and finishing, achieving and whatnot like feels like a goal. But at the moment I think I'm being more submerged into the process, really enjoying the process and doing smallest detail, really like a flower or something, and then if it does turn wonderful, it's even so better in the finished artwork. So yeah, I don't have patience for that a lot of times, so I might not be doing it as well as I thought, but it's kind of like more wholesome to see how it all comes together, even when you don't expect that it will be something in the final work. So especially the references, right, show you, and the same with the journals and reference books, show you how much was gone through the process. Characters might not absolutely been the same as the original suggested characters. Like I'm drawing Kiki, I'm doing Kiki reference vlogs at the moment, and Kiki was not even, like she had like almost like not braids but ponytails in some of the first designs. So here we are. It's absolutely different character, even though it's just so prominent right now as we know it. But I think it all leads to final artwork. Exploration. Exploration is such a wonderful thing anywhere we look about. Is it like a game world and we just explore? So really imagining the process like a game. You know, exploring, trying to understand your characters, plans, things that are adjusted, and things, environment.
I filled this page with all sorts of things. So I tried to do, I'm very bad at copying, but I tried to do this from reference. And then I did this as original and I thought, such a wonderful idea. A fabric coat, possessed fabric on the coat rack, because my story is about ghosts and basically the evil one will be sort of ghosty creature too. So I thought this could be one of the first appearances because we start in the entrance or mudroom sort of area. So I actually got something useful from this exercise. This was from reference and this was original one, and I think because I'm so bad at copying, this is not really like a reference one at all. Original ones look more lively, I feel. Then obviously I like portraits as well. I looked at this guy who did portraits and big noses, and then I'm trying to sort of, yeah, I am bad at imagining what the villain should be looking like, and honestly, there we are. I actually thought about making this girl one of the characters or some sort of version of this girl. This was also original, right? But I was looking at shoulder pieces on reference, though this was not really based on reference, but you know, might be tad similar. Now, sort of puppet-like creature, I don't know, with demon type of mask, and I'm really obsessed with demon masks. There's another story with demon masks, so honestly, maybe that's gonna be part of a villain in some sort. Then there is this artist, really love it, that draws the fruits as creatures. So I did a couple of drawings of it, but I'll show you the article itself because after this journal came out, I subscribed to this person. Ooh, sorry. Oh, here we go. Look how happy these little fruits look. So wonderful, honestly. Yeah. And I thought this is just so wonderful.
Anyway, want to say that I only looked at 2 journals, old numbers, and even then I feel like I'm a little bit tired. I did an entire page of sketching, so I think I'm gonna finish there, and maybe we can repeat this exercise again because I have so many of them that we could reference and look at. So I thought maybe next time we can do a bit of more. I did discover a couple of ideas. I want to do this girl character with like curly hair and shaped on the side, which completely not related to any other references. But I already kind of had this thought before coming into this drawing today. And then obviously the fabric moving on a coat rack. So I think I'm taking something good out of this. And obviously we might grow out and become something else. Sadly, not the villain image. But this concludes today's vlog. So I hope you had some sort of fun and enjoyment through, drawing with me today, because today was literally like a most typical studio vlog with more of so drawings. So thank you for being here. Bye.